Hello, lovely people. I hope we are all doing well. Welcome back to Statistics and Mathematics Tutor channel. So, in this video, we are going to talk about factors in R. One may ask, what is factors? Factors are usually used in R to handle categorical data. Categorical data in R are usually in the form of character string. If we don't save them into factors, it will make our analysis very difficult to continue. So for us to handle categorical factors, categorical variables in R, we use what we call the factor function, right? So let's begin our journey in factors. But before we go into factors, we just want to generate a random number in R using the rep function, right? So in the rep function, we have what syntax, right? As you can see here, syntax for what the rep function. So at the end of the day, right, for the rep function is upcoming. So for the rep function, the first argument will be what the variable to repeat, right? We just want to give him a certain variable to repeat, and the second argument will be the number of times you want that variable to repeat, right? So at the end of the day, when we come here, I said we want that variable to be what male, right? And we want male to repeat what 12 times, and another second one has the first argument that the second argument is that here the variable name will be male, female, and we want the female to repeat 14 times. So let's run and see what will happen, right? So at the end of the day, once you run, right, see it has run 11 times for us here, and it has also run 14 times down here for us, right? So at the end of the day, we just want to put the two together, right, the males and the females together, in order to help us to do our analysis, right? So at the end of the day here, you could see that we have both the male and the female. We want to join them together. We can join the male and the female together using the C function, and just want to give it a variable name, right? We just want to give it a variable name, gender, right? So once you run it, you see it will put the male and the female together nicely as it is here. So here we have been able to generate characters in R. I've been able to generate characters in R, and then we just said that factors are used to handle categorical data. So this is what a categorical random generated data in R. So how can we convert these characters into factors, and how can we convert the characters to factors, right? So we convert characters to factors using the factor function, right? Using the factor function, right? Convert them to this using the factor function. So this is just a variable name. We are just saying that we are giving it a gender dash factor, right? So this is just a variable name, and then here will be our factor, right? So there is a factor, and into bracket of the gender, right? The name of the gender. Sorry, into bracket of the data name. The data name is the gender, right? Yes, because we ran the gender and we got this one in. So that is our data name. So we want to convert this from character to factors. So once you run it, right, we have changed from characters to factors. Yes, because if it is in the form of a string, we will have a quotation on top of this thing. But once you convert it from character to string, we are surely going to get you are surely going to get your factors as it. So male, female, male, female, right? As you can see down here. And then sometimes you want to get the levels of this gender factor, right? So the levels of this gender factor is that like we have two, male and female. So the levels will be, let's say, male and female. So once you run, we have our male, and our female, right? So that is how it works. So this level is just another. In this random generated list that we just have two components, that are just male and female. So once you run the level, you will surely get it. So sometimes to we will really want to, let's say, add some factors to the previous factors that we have. So in our previous factor that we have male and female. We want to add high to it as what a factor. So for example, let's say you have designed a questionnaire, and in that questionnaire, the answer that you give to your respondent to answer, they only concentrate on yes or no. Let's say we have they really concentrate on what male and female. They didn't even take high, and we want to really include high in your analysis. We want to include high into what your factors. You can use what the C into bracket of what our male, female, and then just add your high to it. So this, as you can see here, is just a level into bracket that is just what giving us what the factor. It's just giving us what the variable name. It's just a variable name, right? Given to this one. So once you run it, you see it will be added to what the levels, right? So we have here, we have three factors here, as you can see here, right? We have three factors there, as you can see. So at the end of the day, right, we can also add one variables to what we can also add factors to what the previous factors that we have, right? We can also remove factors, right, from a list, right? So here we can, let's say we have added for example, we have added, let's say we have added high to it, as you can see. We really want to remove the high from it. If you want to remove the high from the factors, you use what you call the drop levels, right? So the drop levels here is used to remove our factors, right? Drop levels is surely used to what remove our factors from a given list of our factors, right? So at the end of the day, the factor that we added to what the list, the factor list here, we want to remove it from what the list, because the high does not have any role to partake. Because when we come here, the high, there is no anything related to high here, so we want to remove the high from it, right? So we just use what the drop levels. So once you use the drop level, the factors that you added to the data that doesn't have any role to take in the analysis, R is going to remove it from there. That's why using the drop levels. So you just have your drop levels, right? You just have your drop levels, and the sentence is just the drop levels there. Inside this thing is what? The gender. That will be the variable name, right? Just write the drop levels and the variable name. Yeah, because you have the variable name to be what? Gender factor, right? So once you do that, you're going to drop everything. So we are having what? Male and female back, as you can see, right? So at the end of the day, it's very, very necessary to know when to add vectors to what R. It's very necessary to know when we add factors to R and where we don't add factors to an R, so that at the end of the day, it's surely going to help us a lot. So here, as you can see here, we learned about how we can use what the rep function to just generate a random what variables, and in the random what element or characters. So in the ref function, we just said that the first argument that you can see here is what the variable that you want it to be repeat. So here we have five different variables. You have the very low, medium, high, and then highest, right? And the number of times that you want this thing to repeat is what? 5 times, right? So once you run it, right, you can see it nice here. This thing has been repeated, right, 5 good times, right? And then at the end of the day, you see, sometimes the factors that you want it to, let's say, the variable that you want R to generate, right, you want it to be in a sequential manner, right? Sometimes you ask R to generate something for you, and it will generate it, although but the arrangement, you will not take the arrangement into what? Into existence, right? So here, if you really want to take the arrangement into existence, you use what you call the factor function, as you can see here, right? But in this sense, we have two things that we use, right? The first one will be the variable name. That will be the first argument. The second argument that you see here will be for the levels, right? So when you come here, we just have 5 levels: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because just low, very low, medium, high, highest, very low, low, medium, high, high. So we just have only 5 levels. So the first one will be the variable name, the second one will be the levels, and then the third argument will be what? The ordered. The ordered is equal to what? True. It means that once you say the ordered is equal to true, R is going to take the order very serious. So it's going to take it, repeat it 5 times, but it's going to follow this one, right? It's going to follow the same arrangement, right? So at the end of the day, so once you run this one, you just run, right? And then R is going to give you nice, right? See, you see, we have been able to convert this one to factors, right? But here he's taking what? The arrangement into place, right? The arrangement is of what? Important. But the previous one that we did, the arrangement was not what? Of what? Important. It was just giving us anyhow, right? So I don't believe, you see, we learn how we can convert what? Variables into what? Factors. In this sense too, we can also convert what? Factors into what? Variable, right? We can also convert factors into variable. Yes, we learned something about atomic data type, and we even learned how we convert numeric to what? Character, and character to what? Numeric, right? So I don't believe here too, we can also convert character to what? Factors, and then convert factors back to what? Character. So we can convert factors to character using what? The as dot character, right? So at the end of the day, we just write our as dot character. The argument here that you can see here, the sentence here that you can see here is what? Just what? The data name. So here we just have our data name to be m factor, as you can see here, m factor. So just put the m factor here. It's going to store what? The factors here into what? Character, right? For us. So once you run this one, once you execute it, you see it has changed it to character, and it's having string on it. While the string that you can see, a double quotation that you can see is just telling us that this one is back into what? Characters, and then this one too is in what? Factors, right? So that is how we can convert from factors to character, and character to what? Factors, right? And then sometimes you want to convert factors to what? Numeric. So once you convert factors, character to factors, right? Sometimes, so always the double quotation will be removed from the list, right? But I want to maybe convert it to numeric for you to really appreciate it, right? So if you really want to convert it, the factors into numeric, you use what you call the as dot numeric. So this as dot numeric is going to convert from what? Character factors to what? Numeric. So once you run this one, you will see that it has changed into numbers, right? Yeah, so it's saying that the very high you see here, the very high, very low, low, medium. So the very low is 1, low is 2, medium is 3, high is 4, and the highest is what? 5. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So you see, we take the order into what? The order, we just instructed how to take the order into what? Important, right? So you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can see down here, right? The order is of what? Important. So we can convert it from what? Numeric to factors, and then factors to what? Numeric, right? And then sometimes to really want to, let's say, summarize what we have, right? So here we just want to summarize the m factor, and we just learned that the summary is just going to give us what? The central tendency, right? Once you just run, going to give everything to you. But since you see, since this one is in what? Is in form of a character stuffs, it's just going to give us what? The length of each of what? The very low, low, medium, and high, and the highest, right? As you can see down here. And the structure that you can see here too is going to describe the data for us. So you see, it just tells us that these are of what? Character string, right? So that is how we can, convert, let's say, factors into what? Numeric stature, right? So this is Statistics and Mathematics Tutor channel. Kindly please subscribe, share the link to your friends, like and comment, so that this video can go viral for people to come and benefit on it. Thank you for watching. Kindly take your time, write the codes down one by one, and then run it so that you can feel and understand how things are going here on this channel. Thank you. Bye.